Good morning, all. Anybody on? Maui, my good friend Maui. Fantastic. How you doing? Hi, Kevin. Hi, Bullmoose. How are you all doing? Hey, JF. Bit of a late start tonight. Currently smoking my Parker Billiard. Beautiful sandblast on this one. And in it, I'm smoking some Erin Moore Flake from 2014. The doghouse is finally closed for the winter. You've been talking about it so long, I was wondering if it was ever going to happen. Out on the deck, having a bowl, Kevin. Nice. What are you smoking this evening, Kevin? Good evening, Pascal. Ken, how you doing? 5100. Buffalo Trace, what's that? Never heard of it. Good evening, Jeff. Cheers to being one of the 9 at BRTV. Has it gone live? Hey, 1Q is just as good as anything else. If that's your thing, then enjoy it. Orchid Voodoo, thank you very much for joining, and thank you for your nice compliment. I try to keep it varied and interesting as much as possible. Where is everybody seeing this stuff about VRTV? Has his website gone live? Thank you, Orchid. Yeah, I heard Matches was doing it last night. I haven't watched his video yet. Okay, I'll have to watch that video. Phil did tell me that Matches would be doing a big reveal. I was supposed to be doing a giveaway in conjunction with tobaccopipes.com.eu, the European tobacco pipes, but so far that hasn't materialized for some reason. But Mike's obviously doing a wonderful giveaway with a 7-day set. North Country Fisher, how are you doing? Andrew, thank you for joining. It is 20 to 2. Bit of a late start tonight. Yeah, I wasn't aware of all the 9, but I knew there was going to be a selection of presenters, and luckily he asked me to be one of them. It's been going for some time now. It's been going for a good few months since its original inception, and I guess if I understood him correctly, he wanted somebody in Europe. Sorry, North Country Fisher, other commitments this evening, so I could have just left it and done it another time, but I thought, you know what, it's a regular thing, it's only fair to come on even if for a bit. The concept is a great one. This is a BRTV. Obviously I haven't watched Match's video, so I don't know what he's talked about it. But the concept obviously was born out of the concerns about demonetization on YouTube, and the possibility of all tobacco content being expunged from YouTube and denied any future uploads. So who knows if it'll go that way or not, but the idea is a great one, and I hope that Phil has a lot of success with it. I've already sent him my first video. He asked us, I think he's asked us each to put an introduction video, which I've done, which a large portion of it is praising Phil for his foresight and his energy and effort to keep this alive. I guess it won't be called the YTPC anymore if that happens. I guess it would be called BRPC. SpiritedSmoke.com? What's that? Have I built any new pipes, Jeff? I've done a bit of tweaking on a couple of them. This is the stand that I'm using now for all my currently available pipes. Besides for this one here, that needs to come out. But at the moment, what we have is the poker. It's got a really nice sharp concave rim. Amazing grain on this pipe, really a stunning grain. Beautiful cross grain going across from one side of the bird's eye to the other. Beautiful grain there. And I've done a bit of a curved heel as well. And also fanned out the shank on that one. This one is the tulip. Beautiful grain. And this one I tweaked a bit, if you remember. And this one had much more of a slope, and I've really trimmed that quite a bit, and I think it looks a lot better now. It's got a real classic look to it. Also, beautiful grain on this one. This one is completely covered in what you might call pinhead bird's eye. It's absolutely covered in bird's eye. Cross grain there, and more bird's eye on that side. There you go, LCS 30 what? 38, I guess that says. And finally is the Sea Rock. My homage to the Shape 55. So it's not a replica, before anybody starts jumping down my throat. Hey, four-eyed Piper. SpiritedPipe.com, a site where you can post anything without problems. Okay, cool. I'll have to take a look at that. All of these pipes are 9mm, 4-eyed. But I've said that anybody who buys any of my 9mm pipes, if they don't smoke 9mm, I'll send them an adapter free of charge, which will bring it down to a normal draft. Yeah, that Sea Rock is awesome. I've been tempted almost every day to spark this one up, but I guess it makes more sense if somebody out there wants it. I can always make another one. I'm just not quite sure how the hey Mr. Tweed, how it's going to work with BRTV, because as long as the YTPC is going, I haven't really decided whether any video that I upload, will I upload it twice, once to the YouTube and once to BRTV, or will I just migrate over? Haven't really given it much thought yet. This pipe is my puffer because it resembles a puffer fish. I made this one a while back. It's really nice plateau top. Got some lovely grain, and it's part rusticated. Hey Hawk Talk, how you doing? Thanks for all your recent messages. I appreciate your support. Facebook has gotten rid of all cigar groups who trade and sell, really? Not the ones that I'm on. Most of us on BRTV, well, okay. How many people are on BRTV? It's not up and running yet. I've decided to make our BRTV content exclusive to that platform and vice versa. What does vice versa mean? Sorry, I'm not following you there, Fouad. I'll have to see what Phil wants about that, if that's the case, if everybody's going to be... I'm assuming from what you're saying, Fouad, that you're one of the 9 people. That being the case, if that's what Phil wants, then I guess that's what we'll have to do. Oh right, okay, I wasn't aware of that. If that's what Match has said, maybe that's not something. Maybe I've missed it in one of the emails from Phil. That's going to be a tough one, actually, to decide what to post where. Cool, Fouad. Good for you. Well, I hope before long there'll be hundreds and hundreds of presenters on there. I hope Phil's infrastructure can handle it all. Yeah, absolutely, Josh. That's really where, I mean, put it this way, from what Phil's been telling me, most of the time that he's been spending is in beefing up the back end so that all of the infrastructure should be solid. I'm assuming he's getting professional advice on that, and hopefully he'll be able to provide a service that's reliable, because the worst thing that could happen is that, you know, it's not smooth, or it crashes, God forbid, or something happens which makes it very frustrating to use, and if that happens, it'll just die before it even gets to life. So from what I'm hearing from Phil, he's saying that that's what he's doing. He's really focusing on the back end to make sure that it's robust, so I hope so. Well, Smoking Ronnie, I'm sure Phil, there will be some financial basis to it. I'm certainly not doing it for any financial reasons. None have been suggested so far, and I haven't gotten into it for that. I was able to go to monetize my channel for a long time already. You know, I think once you pass 1,000 or 1,500 or something like that, you're able to monetize. And I made a conscious decision way back not to do that for my channel. As it turned out, monetization is now a thing of the past. But I never really, I mean, my pipe smoking and my channel was never there to make me money. It was there for me to celebrate the hobby. And yes, obviously recently it has indirectly made me money because it becomes an advertising platform for the pipes that I've been making, but that's really been something which has been born out of my passion. But 4 years later, originally it was just about pipe and some cigar content. I hope so, Fouad. I'm assuming that's what he wants. I'm assuming he's hoping that the hit number will justify the ads, and the people who are advertising will feel that they're getting value from it. Well, in America, certainly, I think the cigar business massively outweighs the pipe business. So I hope, I would imagine that he's including that, but I haven't heard that so far. Hey Triton, thanks for joining. Well, if it is going to be exclusive content, theoretically that could be a death knell for the YTPC. And it's I haven't really thought about that, because if YouTube isn't going to knock the nail in the coffin of the YTPC, then YouTube surely should be still left up there as a really huge pipe forum. There must be hundreds of thousands of videos out there on the YTPC, literally hundreds of thousands of videos. I know I've got over 1,000 videos up at the moment, which I find it hard to believe sometimes, and I've taken a lot of them down, so I'm well over 1,000 that I've uploaded over the time. I think what would need to happen is that people do put exclusive content on BRTV, but at the same time put videos up on YouTube, and ensuring that people are aware that there is content over there. I think that if Phil does monetize it, personally, I think that would not be a good step. That's my personal opinion, unless it's really a nominal amount, £10 a year or $10 a year, to be a member, so to speak, to get a sign in. But if a bit like the Collector magazine, which I get by email from America, and that's like $10 a year, which I think is fantastic, because once you start making it a subscription almost, you're just going to struggle to get volume of subscribers. Right, we finished that bowl of Erin Moore. I noticed that what's his name loaded up a video of Briar Blues challenge number 8. I've actually recorded the video when I got it. It must be a week or two ago, but I never uploaded it for some reason, and now I find that I've lost that video. At the time when I did record the video, I'm not up early, I haven't gone to bed yet. At the time when I did smoke it, his sample that he sent, I did send Mike my thoughts. So I'll have to check my email when that was, but it was a good week and a half ago. And so I've recorded another video earlier tonight, because I can see that people are starting to upload theirs, so I thought I'd better get mine in as well. So I've done it from memory. I haven't smoked it again. I do have some left, but see, usually when I record a video, I upload it almost straight away. You guys know how I do things. I do things in my car a lot of the time, sometimes at home, and I get, hey, we're just talking about you, Mike. I seem to have deleted my video, Mike, of the challenge number 8. I think I was out recording in the car, and it stopped recording because I'd run out of memory. So I just deleted a load of videos, and I assumed that I'd already uploaded them because I usually upload stuff straight away. But I think I've deleted the video of that smoke of challenge number 8. So I've recorded another one tonight from memory, so I'll upload that after this live. But at least I know that I did it like a week and a half ago, and I sent you that email, Mike, telling you briefly what my thoughts were. So at least you know it's genuine. How did the I didn't do it, the rabbit done died. If you tell me she was single, not my fault. But I'll get my thoughts up after this live stream. Right, what to smoke? Can't decide if I should go for a Virginia, a Vapor, or a Latakia blend. Star of the East, that's a good Latakia blend. Well, I suppose I could smoke Mike's one again. Okay, if you guys want, I can give you a bit of a summary of my findings on Mike's tobacco that he sent. But I will upload the video. Quiet Nights is also in that region, you know, Star of the East, Quiet Nights, quite similar blends. I did a 3-way shootout, it must be 3 years ago on my channel, of Quiet Nights, Star of the East and Penzance. Hey Tree. So if you're interested, go check that out on my channel. If I remember correctly, the winner on that particular given day was Quiet Nights. On that particular day. But I've got to tell you that the you watched it today, cool. That goes back a bit, that video. But I've got to tell you that the my own blend from the Danish pipe shop of BS759 is actually a stonking tobacco. I'll see if I can fish some of that out. Maybe I'll have that now. So next time somebody goes to the Danish pipe shop, that's probably what I'm going to ask them to get. The last time I got some of the vintage flake, the Virginia flake, and that's sitting resting nicely in the jars, because that will improve with some age. Can't get the minor blends here either. They're not allowed to export any tobacco anymore. But I do have ways and means. I've got a neighbour who lives 2 doors down, who we're quite friendly with, and he comes from Denmark, and his sister and his father still live there. Do you know what? I'll find it and I'll do that for you, Josh. I don't know if I've ever smoked it. The question is finding it. If I remember correctly, it was a bit of a cake, possibly. Not sure. You sent it to me in one of those jars. Here we are. I was right. It was a cake. We'll do some of that. In your honour, Josh. I had some of this the other day, Luxury Twist Flake, Peter Stockaby, from 2003. It was a bit meh. I guess from that age it's going to lose something. Flake. It also has topping on it, which I guess does get somewhat subdued with time. Well, I'm just just looking at it, and I've got a feeling that I've never opened it. I'm not sure. I might have opened it just to smell it. But at least it's had some nice time to sit there and age a little. Yeah, so I've cut it to get the aroma, and that's probably why I didn't smoke it, because it's got that aroma. It's got a really smoky aroma of, that sort of campfirey aroma, as opposed to that sweet Latakia aroma. But we shall soon see. You can see some broken flake in there. Four-eyed Piper, you're quick off the mark. Email come through. See you, Pascal. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I've responded, Forward. That was that little silence there. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so let's see what this is all about. Let's get a Latakia pipe. I think we will go with the Soren Refberg. This was the Muse for this pipe, although this one's smaller. But you could probably see the resemblance. This one is a bit shorter but wider. This one's obviously a lot more beautiful, but this one's a pretty good go. Walmart, we have a candle for sale by the name of Woodwick, and supposedly it crackles like a campfire. Okay. Whatever next? Alright, let's just have a little whiff. So it's really got quite a sharp Latakia smell, almost like kerosene. And that's all I can get, because it overpowers everything else. But we shall see if it's sweeter in the smoke. Alright, Josh, we'll put your blending abilities to the test. Oh, I see Hawk Talk, yeah, fair enough. Jack Daniels. The first couple of draws reminds me of Nightcap, but I'm getting something else as well. Let's just smoke it a little bit further. Sorry for the silences, I'm just focusing on the flavours. Talk to you in a minute. Tim, you naughty boy, go back to bed. Well, the Latakia in this is not as sort of accurate as I thought it might be. The aroma is actually more sort of bitter and campfirey than the flavour, which is a good thing in my book. I'm getting quite an earthy, mulchy kind of Virginia flavour as well. And I'm not sure, but I keep getting little hints of perhaps some other kind of topping in there. I'm wondering if there's any burley in this as well. 50-50 Pirate Cake and OGS. Well, there you go. That's what I was tasting in the Orlik Golden Sliced. But it's really, I would never have guessed. I've never had Pirate Cake, so I can't tell you what that's like. But OGS, I would never have guessed it, but I was just getting something in there. And OGS does obviously have a bit of a topping. Good night, Forward. Thanks very much. I got your email. Larica Serie 2000 Maduro. I think I may have had a Larica before, but I don't know if it was a Serie 2000 or not. I wouldn't. It's a long time ago. And first try of Capstan Yellow. 2 ultimate smoke moments today. Cool. I've definitely had the Capstan Blue. I may have had the yellow as well a long time ago. I find the Capstan to be nice, but just it wasn't memorable for me, but it was a long time ago. McConnell's Scottish Cake. Uncle Frank, how you doing? I really enjoyed that special pipe that you smoked, the one in the box. It really looks like a very, very cool pipe. I can't remember which make it was, but it really looked fantastic. Yeah, OCD. I think we all say that when stuff goes away. It's just a shame we can't see into the future and know which blends are going to go. I might have to try the yellow, George, because I do like sweetness in a blend. I really do. So Josh, smoking this, I would say that in the initial few minutes it was definitely the Pirate Cake overpowering everything, but as you get down the bowl you get it flattens out a little bit as the Orlik Golden Slice kind of seems to come through a little bit more. It's not the type of blend that I would smoke generally, but it's certainly an enjoyable smoke. Am I right in thinking that Pyro Cake is quite a powerful nicotine-wise, or have I got that wrong? Is Pyro Cake who's it by? Is that what's his name? Earl. Who's it by? I forget. Oh right, okay. Well, certainly the Orlik Golden Slice sublimates it, and it's definitely, as you get through the bowl, it's definitely a lot nicer. A lot of times when I talk about Latakias and the interplay between the Latakia and the Virginia, I talk about it actually in my video on Mike's challenge number 8. It's the same kind of thing, which I didn't get in his blend. But essentially, a lot of the Latakias that I like, which I've got Virginias and a bit of Orientals in there, I find that the interplay between the blends creates this beautiful sweet, sour, almondy kind of flavour, which is enhanced by the retro ale. And although I haven't got that really on this blend, but definitely as the Orlik Golden Slice comes through and kind of lifts up in the proportion stakes as you smoke it, it definitely starts to lean towards that kind of flavour, which is a lot better. 75% Latakia, wow. I haven't tried the HH Latakia either. People have been saying really good things about it. I did like Vintage Syrian, but I found it to be quite rich. Hi Wildcat, your pipe is on its way. I haven't had a chance to send out your tracking information, but I sent them all out. All the pipes that were sold were sent out on Friday, yesterday. So the Vintage Syrian, I did enjoy, I really did, but I found it a little bit rich to be in sort of all-day kind of smoke, and luckily I did manage to put a few tins away. I think you can still get it. Not sure, I might be wrong on that. Well, let us know how you get on, Bull Moose. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Didn't see you there. Tim, you still on? What did you think of that Facebook post that I got a bit of a beating on? In Belgium, nice. Did you get to see any tobacconists? Well, just to give you guys some background, these pipes over here that you see here, I posted them on a Facebook group, a UK Facebook group. This is the post that I put up, which is basically these pipes. Number 4 is gone now, and number 3 looks like will be going this evening. Somebody's interested. And I got some really quite strong comments about my pricing. In actual fact, I had reduced the prices from their original price, and people were quite sharp in their comments. And people were saying that I shouldn't be charging what I'm charging, and they may be right. But I just thought it wasn't for people to tell somebody how much they should charge for their work. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Kind of got my back up, and I was really surprised at the attitude, to be honest. But get over it. It's all right. I must be honest, in the UK as well, people are used to paying a lot less for their pipes. I mean, if you look at the websites like Blakemar Briars, you can pick up pipes from somebody who's been making pipes for the last 30-40 years, and you can pick up a pipe there for 30 quid, for £30, and it's phenomenal, unbelievable value for money. So in the UK, a lot of the people in that group are used to spending that kind of money on a pipe, and that's fine, that's great. But every so often I'll get certain comments on my pipes. Some people, I you know what it is, I think to some extent people, they really, I think they're surprised perhaps at the speed of my progress, and kind of not quite letting me feel successful yet. In other words, I haven't earned my stars yet, and therefore I shouldn't have any right to charge what I'm charging, and they're trying to temper my progress. That's how it felt to me. But I've got thicker skin than that. What things have gone on, Tim? Pros and cons of packing flakes versus rubbing them out. Well, I generally tend to break mine down a bit. I wouldn't say that I rub them out completely, but I do break them down and pull them apart. If you put in, I find that folding and stuffing is a bit unpredictable, I think. When you stuff and fold, I just think it's unpredictable how it's going to smoke, what rates you're going to be able to smoke it, how quickly it'll smoke, how good the draw will be. But I guess with experience you get good at it. When you break down your flake, whether you break it down completely, whether you rub it out completely, or if you cube cut it, whatever it is, it's just going to be much more consistent. And the flavour will also be more consistent, more balanced, depending on the blend, of course. If you fold and stuff, you could get quite a different smoke to if you rub it out. But if you want to get a fairly consistent smoke, probably rubbing it out would be better. I can't say I noticed that, Tim. I know there was recently some people complaining about a political post from, was it Dan, maybe? He put a post up there which was put up in humour officially, as opposed to being political. Absolutely, Bulmos. I'm not here to stamp on anybody else's success. I'm just trying to carve out my own sort of thing, my own niche, as you say. Somebody like Mike Billington, I would have to work many, many years to get to his skill level. And Ian Walker, these people are fantastic, and I still support them. I still buy pipes from Ian Walker despite the fact that I make my own. This was a recent purchase. It's a pipe I ordered from Ian Walker, Northern Briars, a beautiful Canadian. One of the things which I'm trying to do really very much is to not lose the hobby aspect of it. Because when you start to get sort of commercialized and it's all about trying to sell your pipes, you kind of lose sight of the enjoyment of the hobby. Yeah, absolutely, Bulmus. That's exactly what I said in response on that Facebook group. I said at the end of the day, if I'm overpricing, people won't buy, and I'll learn pretty fast, But on the other hand, when people criticize what you're doing, instead of sending me a private DM and saying, you might be overpricing, maybe you want to reconsider some of your prices, no problem, that's fine. I'm happy to get constructive criticism or feedback. But when you diss somebody publicly, you could end up ruining a reputation for no good reason. Yeah, absolutely, Mike. So I'm really trying to keep focus and keep myself grounded. And although this isn't my source of income, obviously, at this stage, I really don't want to lose sight of the enjoyable aspects of the hobby. And I'm trying to make sure that I keep content on the channel not just about pipe sales. Because I want to try and stay true to what my channel has been up to now. And I have seen other people who have been successful in the pipe business, and that's great. You've got to make a living. That comes before everything. But the channels have basically died as a result. And that's fine. Everybody has to do what works for them. When I first started making pipes, my intention was always to sort of learn the skills over an extended period of time and hopefully have something to fall back on, maybe at retirement or something like that. At this stage it was never going to be my main source of income, but happily it's going really well, I have to say. Thank you, Mike. Hey, Curmudgeon. Well, I have to be honest that I've had one or two sales here in the UK, but the vast majority have been in America. And I must be honest that the American community is prepared to pay. They recognise the work that goes into it when it comes to artisan pipe. Oh wow, Josh, wicked, fantastic. I hope that doesn't mean you're not going to finish your 7-day set. But I do find that the American market is prepared to pay. When I look at some of the retailers out there and the pricing, they're very different to the UK pricing. And truth be told though, in America you've got some phenomenal, really I think that the American pipe carvers, the artisan carvers, are now leading the world when it comes to pipe making. I think, the Danish had their day, they still do. The English had their day, but I think that the American pipe carving industry, I think, now leads the world. I really do think that. Can one taste the difference after cellaring a tobacco for a month? Depends what you call cellaring. If you're going to buy a tin of tobacco and keep it sealed in the tin, probably not. But if you buy a tin of tobacco, you open it and jar it, personally in my experience I have seen a difference. It may not have reached its epitome, for sure not, but it will improve somewhat, especially if it's Virginia based. It's like wine, you open a bottle of wine, drink it straight away, it'll taste however it tastes. You decant it and let it oxygenate for a bit, you go back to it even the next day, and it will be different. The flavouring will snap into focus. You'll get a bit more richness, a little bit more sweetness as a result of that oxygenation. And I think you'd have the same with tobacco. How long? Hey Brian, how long keeping a tin of Capstan Blue? How long is a piece of string? It depends how long you can hold yourself back from smoking it. The longer the better. Well, if you're keeping it in the tin, then that's going to age nicely and slowly. It depends on what you're buying it for. If you're buying it for cellaring it, then leave it sealed, because that will age in a nice, slow, even kind of considered way. I would leave it sealed if you're keeping it long term. If you're if you're wanting to smoke it, say within a couple of months, 2-3 months, I would open it straight away and let it get into a jar and let it air out a little bit. Good night, Mike. But if you're keeping it in the tin, I would say, a year, 2 years, 3 years. It really depends how long you want to wait. When I'm well a ways down this bowl of what's it called? Rapscallion, a home blend by Josh, Pipe Grump, and it's right now very similar to many Latakia blends. It's just a regular Latakia blend, really. Good night, Maui. Thanks for joining. Enjoy your vacation. Put your feet up, enjoy a good drink, a good bevy, and a good bang. How do, Harold? Enjoy your dinner, Mike. So Josh, do you smoke this blend a lot? This Rapscallion? See, when it comes to High Pipe Collector, I should imagine in the cellar that will improve with time. Although the aromatic aspect of the OGS, I guess, will reduce over time. Pipe Collector, are you US based? Are you a famous pipe collector? Cairo based, cool. Nice, George, that does sound like a very pleasant evening, I must say. When I do get a chance to read, recently I've been reading back issues of Pipe Collector. I joined their club online and I get the emailed versions, but they were good enough to send me a truckload of emailed versions, back versions, back issues. So I've got a few years worth of them to get through. Probably about 20 or 25 issues to read through. I've got through about 3 or 4 of them so far. They're usually about 50 odd pages each, which is fantastic. When you really want something to settle down and read, you could easily sit down for an hour or two and read through them. I've said it many times when it comes to the Latakia blends that Northwoods for me is my benchmark, and if a blend doesn't really match up to it, it doesn't usually get smoked too often. It's just that good. Well, it's either bedtime reading or when I'm sitting on the throne, otherwise known as the porcelain throne. I haven't tried Mad Fiddler yet. Smelled like boozy apple. The back of your eyelids. Good for you. Hello, Duro Piper. Thanks for saying hello. Yep, it is a good blend. I have to say that the BS 759, which I tried recently, courtesy of Stephen, Cobbett of the Shire, Tim's dad, tried that recently and I really enjoyed that. And I do want to try and get some more. Well, technically, it is a crossover. Well, let me rephrase that. Technically, it's not an English tobacco. Because an English tobacco doesn't actually, in the original sense of the word, doesn't actually have to contain Latakia. An English tobacco generally is the term used for a pure tobacco, an unflavoured tobacco. So whatever blend it might be, generally speaking. Hi, Daniel. So generally an English blend will be an unadulterated blend. But nowadays English blends are generally recognised as Latakia blends. That's just the way it goes, with time things change. You approve of the Tim Hortons cup? Yes, I was gifted that by, I think it was OCD. OCD Piper. I have tried the coffee. It's alright. I don't think it lit up my world, but it was good. But the cup's lovely. It's a really nice, colourful cup. I haven't tried the pipe yet. He sent me a Brigham pipe, which is a nice Canadian pipe. Yeah, if you saw Cobbett of the Shire when he took his beard off, you can see the likeness. Much more than you do otherwise. Right, Tim? Your dad's great. He is great. And you're a good presenter too. I need to do a salt treatment on the Brigham. I'm not sure that I do. I don't remember what if there's any legacy flavours in there. I just haven't done it so far. I just haven't tried it. So, what do I think of Gareth Hogarth blends? Well, I'm enjoying them a lot more nowadays than I used to. Bob's Chocolate, if that's the one you're referring to, or is it Bob's Flake? I assume you're talking about Bob's Chocolate Flake. There was a time when I smoked that a lot, but I'm not such a fan these days. The darks and the browns, I don't smoke them that much, I must be honest, so I can't really comment too much about those. Lutrosaurus, how you doing? Yeah, I saw the when I opened the package, I did show it all. Saw the filters in there. I just haven't, no particular reason. I just haven't done it. Monday. I haven't made any pipes today. No, I don't work on Saturdays. It's the Sabbath for me. And I'm unlikely to make any pipes now till at least the middle of next week. It's the Jewish New Year on Monday and Tuesday. So there'll be a lot of synagoguing and a lot of eating, family time, so there won't be any pipe making. It is New Year for me, that's what I was saying, yeah. It's New Year on Monday and Tuesday. It starts tomorrow night. So Monday and Tuesday is a festival. Oh right, okay, Tim, got you. Yeah, so it's like Sabbath. We don't do any work on the festival days. Absolutely OCD. The amount of tobaccos that I've got that people have sent that I haven't tried yet. Yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Happy New Year to you too. We can do a countdown, but it's past midnight. Well, that's tomorrow night anyway. So we get to have 2 New Years every year. Thanks, Brian. You too. So it is a very serious time, but at the same time it's also a festival. It kind of is a contrast to the Day of Atonement, which is 10 days later. The Day of Atonement we fast. We fast and we're in the synagogue pretty much all day long. And it's a much more serious kind of atmosphere. Whereas the New Year, which is Monday and Tuesday, it's also all about, asking God for forgiveness and all that kind of stuff. It's very serious as well, but it's more of a festival atmosphere than the Day of Atonement. Bowl of Kendall Dark Flake drying out. I think that's the one that I called Rabbit Hutch Liner. The Kendall Dark. Oh, sorry, Hawk Talk, I didn't know what you were asking there. But Tim's got you there. Sorted you out. So according to our tradition, 5780 from the creation of the world. People talk about 6,000 being it, but I guess we won't be here for that, so. Indeed, Josh, it is the puffer. This one you guys would have seen a long time ago, one of the first freehands that I did. And although it's relatively simple, it's also, I put a lot of time into this, and I don't think I've put it up for sale. I may have done right at the beginning, and I may well still do that, I don't know, but it needs a new stem, so I'm not, it just sits on my desk for now. The stem is too loose, so at some point I'll make a new stem for that. 5757. Oh wow, that's a while back. 23 years. 23 years since you've last been in a synagogue. Alright. Well, everybody, I think I'm going to call it a morning. It's 2:45 a.m. What was Daniel's question? Sorry. Alright. Anyway, thanks very much, everybody. Thanks for joining. I wasn't actually sure that I was going to get on tonight, But late as it is, I had a good amount of rest so far this weekend, so although it is late, hopefully it won't be too drastic tomorrow. I won't be too overtired. So good night, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Hawk Talk, Jeff, Bull Moose, Josh, Daniel, Tim, Wildcat, North Country Fisher, Brian Jacobs, Pipe Collector, all the way from Cairo, Nautosaurus, and everybody else. Thank you very much for joining, and I will catch you on the next one. My video will be up very shortly. This video will go up, I guess, soon, and I will put up the video of the Mics of Briar Blues challenge number 8. So if you still want to see that, that'll be up soon. Thanks, everybody. Catch you on the next one. Thanks, Tree.